Good afternoon. Welcome to the third session of today. How to present Syndicat, our first speakers, or rather, how not to present Syndicat. Syndicat is not an agency. Syndicat is not rich. Syndicat is not involved in a lawsuit. What we do know is that Syndicat is very fond of printed matter. Members of Syndicat, Sacha Leopold and François Aveguer, have worked with numerous partners in the cultural field, such as the Bibliothèque Kandinsky in Paris, the In Extenso Gallery, Contemporary Art Center Villa du Parc in Annemasse, and the Palais de Tokyo. They have also organized a number of fascinating expositions, curated various expositions on graphic design and book design for the International Festival of Chaumont. These exhibitions were called Monozukuri. And I should also mention that they have recently organized an exposition on the work of Grappus, which Hugo already mentioned this morning. For the Palais de Tokyo, they have designed a competition for throwing hammer airplanes. I hope you are just as curious as I am. So please join me in welcoming Syndicat.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sacha. This is François. We are working as Syndicat from 2012. We are based in Paris. We're studying together about 10 years ago. We met in an art residency and we worked together since this time. We were assistant of Pierre Bernard at Atelier de Création Graphique in Paris. And also, we learn about 50 words in English. So to not be so boring, we will be presenting you about 15 or 16 projects in 40 minutes, in French and also in English.
J'aurais
Try
aimé le faire en néerlandais, mais mon grand-père, Aveguer, si c'est ça, je le prononce bien, ne me l'a pas appris, ou très peu, alors je vais le faire un peu en français pendant que lui le fera en anglais.
Our main works focus on printing objects in cultural ways, on printing tactics and knowledge, as well as books or exhibition, art pieces with artists or researchers. Its project has got to criticize itself, its meaning, situation, and existence. Also, we never work just for money. That's the reason we are poor, but we're trying to still work. And we'll separate different parts, our talk in different parts, so you can read. Don't want to read for you. First one is about what is printed object. The first project is a monograph for a young artist called Rémi Groussin that we are commissioned to do. It was normally his first monograph. He was 27 years old, and the budget we gave us was to print it 64 pages in France. So there was a problem. He was 27. We were talking about monograph, and we just have the budget to make 64 pages. So we spent all the budget in a Lithuanian printing office that accept to print 160 pages, so 100 pages more, because we decided that a monograph has to be the biggest one as possible. So we make the biggest number of pages, but most of them are blank, because when you are 27, you can't have enough work to put in 164 pages.
So, if you want it, take it.
We'll try to be fun. If you are cool, we'll give you gifts.
Ouais.
And after the conference, we will ask something to you, but it will be after. So be cool, please.
Ce qu'on ne vous a pas dit aussi sur ce bouquin-là, et c'est un problème qu'on rencontre assez régulièrement, c'est qu'on se double la charge de travail, mais à chaque fois, on n'est pas payé plus. Donc, voilà.
The next one is a book collection about an exhibition at Palais de Tokyo this year called L'usage des formes, that was focusing on craftsmen and the relationship between artists and craftsmen. The curator, called Galien Desjean, asked us to do something with 7 books who were the foundation of this exhibition. It was books around craftsmen, and we decided to make a collection with a craftsman who works on leather. And we did this collection just putting stamps, leather stamps that were also printed in gold and silver. I forget the
Non, mais en
name.
fait, on nous a proposé de travailler avec quelqu'un qui était censé être un expert du cuir et qui maîtrisait normalement très bien son travail. Du coup, on a voulu voir avec lui s'il pouvait sérieusement mal faire son travail. Et en fait, il s'avère que ce mec sait juste mal faire son travail. C'est un mauvais, quoi. Mais on l'a su qu'après.
Each titles of the books are printed in gold. For all different books are so different. Next project is an exhibition we did for an artist that asked us to design her exhibition. And we say, okay, well, your work is quite interesting, but we also want to do something with it. So we proposed to make just curtains where reproduction of her works were printed. So it was something similar as a book because it was mobile curtains, but pages also in the space with really big spaces that can move. And there were different types of curtains. There were small, there were transparent ones. We can't give you a curtains, we haven't got with.
Et ce qui n'est pas très marrant, c'est qu'à la fin, pendant le vernissage, donc on avait quand même fait une bonne partie du travail, mais personne ne nous parlait en fait. Tout le monde allait voir l'artiste, les journalistes ont été voir uniquement l'artiste, et du coup on est reparti de là comme si on n'avait rien fait. C'était un peu frustrant. Bon.
What are printing techniques? When we are teaching and when we are curating exhibition, also when we are working in each project, we are trying to focalize on experience of the reason why we had to print something. This question is something a bit old. We're starting doing an exhibition called Monosucuri Forme d'impression that was focusing around printing techniques, showing about 40 international graphic designer project. It was in Chaumont in 2012. So also the furniture were a bit special. It was a wink to the printer office. In the printing office, offset office, for example, when you are printing a sheet, at the outside of the machine, you're putting a sheet on a desk, and the printer is just like this, looking to what's wrong and what's good. So we want people just bend on the furniture, for example, this.
Et dans cette exposition, il y avait à peu près une bonne trentaine ou quarantaine de spécificités techniques, dont des macules, des encres miroirs, des encres thermochromes, 2 trames différentes comme on peut le voir sur l'image, une impression riso, rotative offset, impression Roneo, de la tampographie, des encres grattables, et là j'ai pas le reste en tête, mais il y avait quoi d'autre? Ouais, du gaufrage, des encres phosphorescentes, ce genre de choses.
Another exhibition, our part of exhibition called Taylor, it was part of our last exhibition in Chaumont called Taylor, Mathieu et Ricardo. Taylor part was focusing around industrial printing that most of graphic designers never use because it's something more used by technicians and engineers. For example, signage. We discovered that signage printing was laser printer, a huge laser printer on the side of the screen, but but it's printing in 6 color and 6 spot color. It's not CMYK, these are just 6 spot colors. All this part of this exhibition is something just making experiments around something. These are not art pieces, it's more like something like a sketchbook to have reference and maybe to use them after a while. We also discover a mobile inkjet printer that is a really strange object. It's that form, you can take it with you, and it's specialized to print on big materials, tubes, etc., or for the construction materials. The specificity is that you can print 6 meters long in one color, types, bitmaps formats, but on this 6 meters long, you can just print 12 millimeters high. So that's really strange. It's something like really long, but not really high. For this reason, we tried to design 2 characters. One, you are obliged to print one by one, and that you can say on the wood sticks. And the second one, where there is nothing en dessous de la ligne de base. On the, I don't know, the baseline. Yeah, there is nothing en dessous, I don't know.
T'as gagné un bouquin, toi.
You want a book? We use this type at Centre Pompidou with the artist Sarkis for the birth of the 25th birth of exhibition called Magicien de la Terre. It was quite famous exhibition in Paris 25 years ago, and we use this for a big installation. Another technique that is also quite impressive is called water transfer printing. It's making quite big buzz on internet, actually, for persons who are doing tuning or for helmets or for weapons, something like this. We just prefer to make stone printing. It was more soft. Water transfer printing consists on pre-print film. It's a plastic film that is water soluble. You put the film on the water, the ink stays on the water, and you take your object, you put it in the water, and the ink is coming on the object. You can so print 3-dimensional objects with different textures.
Pour ce projet, il y avait d'autres objets, comme on a pu le voir sur la première vue d'exposition, mais on a choisi d'en montrer qu'un petit peu. Et moi, j'ai pas grand-chose à rajouter. Je pense que Sacha a été assez clair. C'est pendant des vues d'atelier quand on a été faire ça à Besançon.
What is reproduction? There's also something we like to experiment. Most of the time when we are making books or posters is the reason why you are reproducing something. How to put I don't know, a flyer in a book, how to talk about books in books. And most of the time it cannot be the same as the original one. So you've got to make choice. You've got to be to have some strong materials to make them so strong to make a book. The first book is a catalogue for an exhibition called On ne se souvient que des photographies, that was focusing around exhibition photographing. We work at the Bibliothèque Kandinsky with students to organize all their thesis projects. There was 8 thesis projects. And we did a workshop at Bibliothèque Kandinsky, especially using different tools to scan to scan the images. For example, a hand scanner is a small object that with the one you can scan in a library. All the diapositive, I don't know the name, slides, thank you. All the slides were photographed, screenshots were in the own resolution at 300 dpi. And because we haven't got any rights on this image, it was not a book that was sold, so we said maybe if we cut them or mix them a bit, we will not have problem. The main idea of this project is to see how an exhibition photography that is normally something around documenting a moment can travel in different supports. For example, on the left, this is a poster of performance of Pina Bausch. On the right is a flyer, and also the page after, we haven't got it, but it's normally a book. So there is different ways you can use and photograph, an exhibition photograph. In another way, we did a small workshop with an exhibition photographer, also an artist called Aurélien Moll, with students, with really young people, around six or seven. And we were always amazed by the way they were taking photographs of art pieces. Each photograph was totally different or deformed. So each time we would like to make the art pieces really straight, so the frame was totally deformed too. In another way, we print the most photographed pieces, the bigger, and the less photographed pieces, the smaller, about 2 millimeters.
Ouais, on leur a aussi laissé dessiner des pages eux-mêmes. Et ce qui est assez marrant, c'est qu'ils choisissent même dans les œuvres, c'est-à-dire qu'ils n'ont aucun problème. On peut le voir au milieu de la page 33. Le truc n'est pas du tout comme ça, normalement, c'est un rectangle. Et ils n'ont aucun problème à découper complètement dedans. C'était assez marrant comme liberté.
La fille, le fruit, le perroquet et la piqûre à cheval. This is a catalogue of the two exhibitions we were curating around printing project and also binding. I will talk about the second one after around binding. This catalogue shows us on the cover the two types of furniture. The first one is for forme d'impression, around printing tactics, and the second one is around binding tactics. And we did this catalogue two years after the first exhibition. We also discovered that when you are doing an exhibition, you've got to ask a real photographer to make pictures of your work, because the picture we had was totally disgusted. So we decided to use an inkjet printer to print them, also to break this inkjet printer a bit, to scan them and to print it not in CMYK, but in C, fluo pink, orange, and black. So it gives us something a bit strange. It's not totally documentary, but it's talking about his own subject. That's strange. I think I'm talking to the TV. Tu n'as pas donné de catalogue?
Bah non, celui-là, on va le garder pour Hugo.
Hugo.
Petit cadeau.
Hugo.
Ah, vous
Hugo.
appelez pas tous Hugo, ça va. Hein.
Oui, il est où, Hugo? Ah, il est là. Il faut l'envoyer là-bas. We've got to speed. So the second part was about 100 books shown in the binding exhibition. But because you can't talk about an exhibition that focuses on binding, on sculpture, on materials, paper, on inks, on the way you are manipulating books, we just choose to make scan on a A4 format, and just to be precise on the scale. Each book is printing at scale 1, but so never totally in the page.
Ouais. Et du coup, on a remarqué aussi 2 semaines après avoir reçu le bouquin qu'on avait oublié 2 livres dans le catalogue. Et on s'est fait un peu gronder parce que justement, parmi un de ces livres, il y avait un livre d'un de nos copains. Du coup, on a imprimé un addendum pour le compléter.
To precise a bit, this second exhibition around binding, this is the display. It was a display really near from the floor because I think you know it because most of you are students. Most of times when we are teaching, we take to school some of our books, we give them on the desk, and all the students came and say, hello, yes, yeah, okay, and your dog, how is your dog, yeah, okay. And they just put the book on the desk, they are sure they have see it, but they never focused on it. So we say, we want to make an exhibition with 100 books free. You can put it, you can take it in your hand, you can also store them if you want. But because they are on the floor, if you are going on the floor, it's a bit difficult, yeah, if your knees are broken or if your back or so.
On s'est fait engueuler par tous les vieux et tous les grands, à chaque fois, quoi.
Chut, arrête, on va avoir des problèmes encore.
Particulièrement Toff, d'ailleurs, enfin Christophe Jacquet. Il n'était pas content, lui.
With an excellent designer, too. But you've got to make a kind of effort. You've got to go, just take the book and have a look to it. So it was showing about 100 books of international graphic designer. Yes, I'm lying. 10 of them were not bought by ourselves, but just book friends. So we put 10 of them under glasses. I'm so lying a bit.
Après ça, en technique de
François is
de
working
façonnage,
sometimes. He's
il y
working
avait
sometimes.
de la triple piqûre à plat, de la couverture multiple déchirée, de la reliure wire haut, de la reliure par colle à froid, du collage à la chinoise, du bloc d'ouvrage non façonné, pas mal d'autres, des agrafes à bouclettes, des cahiers non massicotés en barbe, des jaquettes multiples imbriquées. Il y a pas mal de noms qu'on a dû malgré tout un peu inventer parce qu'il n'y avait pas de mots pour chaque chose.
We've got to speed a bit because
Okay.
we've got just 20 minutes. So we met at the La Grande Ourse residency, who was a residency with 3 artists and 1 curator, where we spent 3 months. Normally we had to make a book together, but it was like love story without any sexual rapport. So we never worked together, so we did something in different spaces. But to bind this subject, we decided to bind it under a plastic film. And when you open it, everything is going on its own, like this, for example, the logo types.
Who wants logo? Niev? Nice one.
And so it gives something totally dislocated when there is no more binding. We also did a small catalog for La Villa du Parc in Annemasse. It was a catalog focusing on 1-year exhibition when there were 4 different exhibitions around the same subject. It was working in pair, the reason why they asked us to work for this catalog. And at the beginning we would like to do 4 small booklets, around 16 pages each. And finally we decided to make 4 booklets with a cover for each, to put it in each other, but not have a real cover a real image for the cover. So you've got a really strange structure because you've got cardboard in the middle and in some different pages. For example, in the text, you've got some cardboard. It's just to symbolize the structure of these 4 exhibitions.
J'espère que vous avez compris, parce qu'on a déjà essayé de l'expliquer en français à la radio, et c'était pas très clair, je crois bien. Donc, celui-ci, on va essayer de le faire passer, du coup. Je sais pas par... Bah, viens le chercher.
And also for a small story, we were invited one exhibition before to start organizing all the materials of this catalog. We make a sort of installation on the top of the Invercoat cardboard, which is the real cover on the one we printed the materials. It's kind of in three-dimensional catalog. How to use the others? We're not sure about the translation. L'idée est de dire comment se servir des autres. Because sometimes, instead of just be commissioned by an artist or an art center, we find more fun that we are going to ask an artist, a person who the work seems interesting to us, to be the product of our project. For example, the exhibition Mathieu, who was a part in Chaumont of Taylor, Mathieu et Ricardo, was focusing around Mathieu Lauret's works with a French artist working on the media. His first art pieces was to be shown on TV at Tournée Manège, QQ emission. And we were for a while wondering about all the internet capacity to make online printing products. We spend a lot of time on different websites looking at flip-flops or
Il y avait une liste
PlayStation.
assez longue, des bobs, des draous, un bob, un draous, un stylo, un bonbon, non, il y avait plusieurs bonbons, un tapis de bar, une petite culotte, un plateau repas, des chaussettes, une serviette, du carrelage, des chocolats, une gigoteuse, une corbeille à fruits, une flasque à whisky, une montre. En fait, la montre n'est jamais arrivée, on se l'est fait chourer par Chaumont. Mais normalement, elle devait faire partie de l'exposition.
Chourer in France is volé.
Une planche de skateboard, un sweatshirt, une manette de PlayStation, un tapis de douche.
That gives 67 objects that were the first Mathieu Lauret retrospective exhibition in France. He never had retrospective exhibitions. He never had any catalogue raisonné. So we did something totally in between. It was an exhibition of his work which was reproduced on online printed objects. Sorry. Ricardo was the first part of this exhibition. It was focusing around low-cost printer all around the world. We asked the exhibition photographer Aurélien Moll to give us all his 50,000 images he did since he's exhibition photographer. And we made 3 thematical posters. The first one was focusing around artificial lighting in exhibition. The second one around the color orange and green that are quite difficult to print. And the third one was about the details in the art pieces. So these are all images that Aurélien Moll did from other art pieces and artist work. And we make all these 3 posters. The format was 40 by 60 centimeters. We sent them to a printer in Lithuania, China, Belgium, Italy, and Bulgaria. And we put them together, folding them to compare different points where there were different. I don't know if, yeah, we can see on the screen.
Et en fait, ce qui est assez marrant, c'est que finalement, les imprimeurs qui étaient censés être les moins chers, donc les Chinois, sont avérés les plus chers parce que c'est pas tellement conseillé d'imprimer que 300 exemplaires en Chine. Et en plus, ils se sont gourés sur le grammage. C'est les seuls qui nous ont ramené des posters sur un grammage beaucoup plus épais.
Yeah, we ask at each printer, we ask them the same paper, the same 170 grams on silk paper. So, Grappus. What is Grappus? Nobody knows. because it was always really difficult for everyone who wants to make an exhibition about Grappus to make the 4 or 6 person who were the head of Grappus in a court to say, okay, we will make an exhibition about our 25 years of work. And in another time, we were a bit excited by one day making an exhibition with no original. Every object would be a reproduction in different ways of a monographic exhibition. We saw we start working in our students in Amiens Art School in a kind of workshop during 6 months on an exhibition that will show only reproduction of Grappus' work. There is no original, so we did not ask Grappus to make an exhibition about their work because it was not their work, it was just reproduction that we find on internet, that these works were sometimes analyzing the fluo yellow, was analyzing, for example, the composition of this image. How is there a style, a method to compose? J'entends plus.
C'est bon.
Ah, si, c'est bon. And each of them were reproduction. Also, we said that to document this exhibition, we only do one image. This is the only image you will ever see if you never see the exhibition. This is the only one.
Et Sacha vous parlait de la difficulté de travailler sur Grappus. En fait, quelques jours après, on a commencé à recevoir des appels téléphoniques assez menaçants qui nous demandaient de fermer un site internet et un blog que des étudiants avaient ouvert justement pour cette exposition, où ils faisaient des photomontages avec les anciennes affiches de Grappus et Chuck Norris.
Gerard Paul-Resclavel don't like Chuck Norris.
Donc on a dû le fermer.
And how to use designer status? It's also something a bit strange in English. But sometimes there is different projects that you are not just putting an image on a poster or on a leaflet that will be the most interesting art reproduction of an artist. Sometimes an artist commissions you to make a work for him. For example, Aurélien Moll, for an exhibition, asked us, also Abaki and Izeti Chevari, to redesign a poster of a famous film by Roman Polanski, called The Ghostwriter. The main idea is a ghostwriter is writing the biography of a famous politician in America, and he discovers that this politician is just a bad person. And so the artist asked us to be the ghost designer. We are designing this false poster for the artist that has to be an art piece. So we did exactly the same than the journalists do in the film. We make a kind of enquête on Aurélien Moll's life. We ask his wife, his parents, some private photograph of his life. And we put it on the poster, putting Pierce Brosnan's head on Aurélien's body, because Pierce Brosnan is the
minister.
The first actor in this film.
D'ailleurs, Aurélien ne sait toujours pas que c'est sa femme qui nous a filé les photos, donc j'espère qu'il ne l'apprendra jamais.
The Culte des Bannis, it's a quite young project we are doing with Arnaud Labelle-Rojou, who is also a French artist, whose work is mainly focused on reuse some existing works. He would like to make conference around the fact that in different art disciplines, poetry, sculpture, music, some old or actual artists are considered by the other musicians, for example, as mainstream, even that for a sculpture, a musician can be a kind of icon. It's something really difficult to explain in English, but in his conference, he's using a lot of images that he took from history, design history, art history, music history too. And in the way to make a poster with it, we just choose, for example, to not use this exact image, but just using the margins and the uninteresting parts of this image. So it's just something put on a poor portion of images put it on a poster. And the last project is an identity we are doing since we did this small catalog for Villa du Parc. This is a Villa du Parc identity. We are doing it since, I don't know,
2 years?
2 years, yeah. It's something a bit simple and also sometimes a bit funny. It's based on 3 color bands, all white bands, and there's no logo, just one type. It's a revival of Arial. Why Arial? Yes, it is Arial. Because if you look at the map, Annemasse is really near from Geneva, but Geneva is in Switzerland, Annemasse is in France. So why using Arial? Because we don't want to use Helvetica.
Pourtant, on aime l'Helvetica, on a fait...
These 2 posters are the season posters,
Enfin,
without
t-shirt.
without any images.
Who wants? Nice one. Je peux le lancer loin ce coup-ci.
Ah, tu peux me laisser. Vas-y, vas-y.
S'il est un peu jaune, c'est qu'on l'a acheté dans une friperie. Hein. C'est pas notre transpiration.
We bought it yesterday. It cost us €2. €3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's working on. I come a bit back. It's working on 3 color stripes. The season posters are just using text and color stripes, and the exhibition posters are using text, color stripes, and images. But instead of just putting the most interesting image of an exhibition or the image that can work the best for communicate around an exhibition, we always choose to reframe them and to make another image that is working well with the poster format or the flyer format. And also each color, when we use black and white, it's because it's a group exhibition, and when we use color image, it's because it's a monographic exhibition. So we prefer making the image of the exhibition instead of just using the best image for the exhibition.
So,
I think we are in time. We are just time to ask you one small thing. First one is to thank Pierre Bernard. We were talking about it at the beginning of the conference. We worked with him for 2 years, and we also did different projects after we left from Atelier de Création Graphique. He passed away on Monday, so we will just say him hello. And for that reason, and also to send to our mummy, because they are a bit scared for us, we would like to ask you to just maybe stand, and I am doing a picture, and you will do like this, something. If it's not fun, you can't do it.
for the wife of Pierre.
Maybe if the conference wasn't fun enough, maybe you can make not smile.
Celui-là.
Yes, I think that's perfect. No, you've got to come there now. No, that's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I forgot
Ça marche pas.
something. It's not working. It's very, very important. The main activity of our studio.
Bye. It's time for me to go.